live and answer them live. Sometimes you might have a question, you might put it in the comment section, and my team finds it answer worthy. We should answer it. It's just coming round to it, going through the roster of the other stuff that we're doing. It just takes a little bit of time, and then I'm not able to come round to it. So I will answer questions today as well. I can see. I think I see myself. I've gone live. There we go. Okay, so I can join live as well. And how that will benefit me is if there is any person who asks me a question, I can actually see it. Okay, today I want to discuss what's the kind of property that you should be buying if you are in your 50s and if you're in your 20s and 30s. So let's start. If you're in your 50s, what's the kind of property that you might look at buying? Hi, Jin. Hi, Jinender. Jinu. Hello. Hi, Jinu. If you guys have any questions, just put them. I will read. My team will tell me about the question, and I'll be happy to actually answer. Okay, cool. So, listen. So let's imagine you're 50-year-old. You're thinking about retirement now. Perhaps you already retired. Perhaps you're thinking, okay, maybe you're going to work till 60, 65, maybe 55, and you're going to retire. So you're looking at Dubai as a place to invest in a property, whether for yourself as an investment or as a home that you want to live in. Okay, so the first thing that I always tell people, like, look, you must plan what you're doing, right? There's a famous saying, if you don't plan, then you're surely planning to fail, right? So any plan is better than no plan at all. So what I would always suggest you do is, the first thing is, I always tell people, the first thing is to do a strategy development session. Now, if you were engaged with us and you were working with us exclusively, that's the first thing we would do. We would spend 60 to 90 minutes doing that session. What are the big key things that we would discover in that? First thing, is this going to be a pure investment? That's a separate journey that you're going to undertake. Is this going to be an actual living apartment or house, a home that you might call a home away from home? And then is it going to be a primary home or a secondary home? So perhaps you're living in Australia, or perhaps you're living in Toronto and it gets too cold and you want a winter home. So you want to escape the Toronto or New York winters and come to Dubai to spend about 3-4 months. Perhaps you want to move your business here. So there's different streams that you're going to take up depending on what your thinking is, and that's what we would discover in the strategy planning session. And then there's a lot of other questions that we would also ask, like, are you a city person? Are you and your spouse city people? Meaning what? Do you like to be close to fine dining, events, malls, stuff like that? Maybe you like quiet stuff. Maybe you want to go into the park areas, right? What about your travel situation? Are you going to be, while you're living here, are you going to be traveling a lot? Are you going to be, as I said, is it only a winter home, travel in and out? From that perspective, there might be considerations of, should you buy an apartment in Dubai? Because there's great apartments, there's sky villas, penthouses if you like extra space. Or should you be focusing on perhaps purchasing a townhome or a villa? Keeping in mind that a townhouse or a villa is going to require a certain amount of upkeep, right? Even a smallest townhome is going to have some kind of grass patch around it, especially if it's a corner townhouse, which are the bigger ones. The villa is going to have more grass around it. So you'll always need a gardener to come in a couple of times. If you use fake grass, fake plants, you might still need somebody to come in, do a little fixer-upper every once in a while. But if you've got real live grass and you like that kind of stuff and you want it to stay live all the time, you're going to need somebody to actually come and take care, which actually, Dubai is generally a very secure place, super secure, perhaps at par with Singapore or even more safe and secure. But when you're not in town and the villa's on its own, I'm not saying that gardeners would get tempted to break in, but it's just more secure than if you're in an apartment where there's a concierge downstairs, full security on every single floor of an apartment building, and then your apartment door is just closed shut and everything's closed and everything's super safe. By the way, if you've got questions, I'm happy if you put it in the question spot below, and I will answer. Okay, what's up with this? Intellectual Gladiator. Hello from Australia. Hi. Okay, I did mention Australia and then Toronto. Appreciate your informative content. I appreciate you Also, back, thank you very much for your appreciation. I appreciate you back for checking out my content, for appreciating it, for coming up onto my live stream and giving me that kind of positive encouragement. I like that. I appreciate it. Umair Butt, hello to you too. Okay, thanks for your hello. Gino, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Yeah, okay, that's exactly what I said. Okay, so guys, listen. If you're 50 and you've figured out, okay, it's going to be an investment journey or a journey from the perspective of, okay, so I can read them here. This is easier for me actually. Okay. Cool. So I can actually read the. I can have it here closer. So that closer is okay. Yeah. Isn't this great? I can be in touch with everybody, all of my subscribers. Okay. So I can always read the questions that are coming through. Okay, this sounds good. Okay. How's this? Okay. After you've decided as a 50-year-old plus, after you've decided that you want to actually, Rami, hey, hi, how are you? Mirbad, would you please let me know how I can invest in Dubai real estate, as I've heard a lot of good things about the market. Okay, Umair, let me come to your question and explain how. The ideal thing that you would want to do is you want to actually start with an expert advisor in your corner. So the first thing is not to just go straight into the market and start evaluating properties. Have an expert advisor who you trust, who you can find that they can come into your corner and then help you sift through the market. This is something I always tell people, like, you might have a very fair idea of what you want from the market, but it's super important for you to have somebody local expertise. If I went to Mumbai, to India, to buy a property, I think it'd be stupid if I would go and do it on my own. I've lived in Toronto 7 years. I would not be looking at buying properties in Toronto myself. I got friends who are brokers over there. I would engage them. I would pay them for their time and effort to guide me through the market. Same thing if I went to buy a property in Montreal. I would hire a local expert agent who would actually guide me through the process step by step, so that I know that I'm safe, because they can actually point out to any of the risks that might be, apparent to them, because they've been in the market, I've not, and they can guide me to better opportunities. A lot of people feel that they should do it themselves. Like, hey, kudos to you. If you can buy a plane but also fly a plane, that's amazing. I just don't think that everybody who has the opportunity to buy a plane also has the ability to fly a plane. Deborah Das, hi, how are you? Same thing applies to property. If everybody who, see, here's the deal. If everybody who could buy a property also knew how to buy the perfect property, get the best deals, know the regulations, the investment, and so on and so on, then everybody would be making money regardless of where they invested. Isn't the case, right? Jared, hi. What should be the first step of the real estate investment? Could you please explain general point of view, not just in Dubai real estate? See, first step is to have an advisor in place, and then obviously in sync with that is to actually have a strategy in place. So just like everything else, everything starts from a thought, but then before you start executing that thought, you put a plan in place, right? So you should have a very distinct, succinct, advanced plan created with the help of an advisor who has local expertise, right? So for instance, if today I want to buy a Lamborghini, right? I've got the money, okay? I would actually hire a car expert to advise me on what are the not beginner, because I don't, it's not like I want to spend less money. It's just that for somebody who's just walking into the world of Lamborghini cars or supercars, I just want somebody to show me the path. Like, if you're at the starting spot, buy this one. Then after a year or 2 years, buy this one, and then buy this one, right? You don't want to just walk straight into the showroom, and it's okay if you do that. That's okay as well, right? You walk straight into the showroom, supercars all, talk to a sales guy. He has 10 cars to sell. He sells you one. You walk away. Who cares? It's only money. Money comes and goes. Money replenishes, huh? Do you know? Yeah. Money comes and goes, right? Who cares? That's also okay. Intellectual gladiator. What can you tell us about the plan uh, for Dubai. So I was on my own live stream here. What can you tell me about our plan for what is this? What can you tell us about the plan for Dubai as a city over the next 25 years? Okay. Hey, intellectual, I'm going to be very, very biased here, okay? You're asking somebody who was born and raised in Dubai. My family's fourth generation in Dubai. And I am an optimist when it comes to situations, right? Even the pandemic, I said, listen, guys, don't worry about it. I've seen SARS in Toronto. Everything's going to be okay. Took us 2 years, but we kind of okay. You're alive, I'm alive, my team's alive, everything's fine. I personally think that Dubai is going to grow from strength to strength in the next 25 years. However, the growth is going to be very, very different. What do I mean by this? The first 20 years of real estate, where the freehold opened up, was a lot about sun, shine, and sand and the beach. For some reason, people just forgot that Dubai is a tax-free haven. There's no personal income tax. There's no capital gains tax. You buy an apartment for $1 million. If you sell it 5 years later for $2 million, the government wants nothing to do with your money. Your money is your money. You can take it anywhere you want, spend it any way you want, right? You can even spend it anywhere. Like you could go to a restaurant, tip it. You could send it back to India, send it back to Pakistan, send it back to Toronto. Whatever you want to do with that money is your profit. Government wants at the moment nothing to do with it, okay? However, that first explosive growth was, I would say, was more hype, more investment driven, more hot money driven, which is why we saw when the hot money left, things kind of like crashed down. The second phase of Dubai's growth from 2012 up to 2014-15 was again hyper active, but we had a lot of secondary market users who had chosen to make Dubai home. This stage post pandemic, a lot of educated investors are coming into the market. What do I mean by educated investors? These are people who know their figures. These are people who have financial advisors at their disposal. I'm not talking about somebody sitting in some place in a country where he's just got a lot of money from XY reasons, and he's super smart. He knows money, but he's not financially educated, okay? He only knows, I'm going to put $1 million and I'm going to get $2 million out. Whereas a lot of the investors that are coming in now, they've got a lot of financial depth. So the investments they're making are coming from a very logical space that they're doing. And the second thing that's really, really coming up right now is a lot of people are looking at Dubai to settle in, to actually live over here, to actually to build a life over here. And it's just not like a few people. A lot of people from Western countries, European countries, from African countries are moving themselves and their families over here for that next phase of growth that I personally see is going to be very stable, but it's still going to grow. It's not going to grow at 30%, 40% per year. It's going to grow, but it's going to be very stable growth, and it's going to look nothing like the past 40 years. That's my personal opinion. Thank you for that question, intellectual. Umair, sounds good, Mr. Fahd. Would you mind sharing your contact number so that I can have complete details? My WhatsApp number is in the description below. So I would recommend that you use that WhatsApp number to get in touch with me. Deborah, oil price will affect on Dubai real estate? Yes, but oil prices are high. Generally speaking, oil is a component of the local economy. Even though for Dubai, it's like less than 5% of what it contributes to Dubai's GDP. However, when oil prices are generally high, my experience has been, and correct me if anybody can correct me if I'm wrong, my experience has been that oil prices also have a quite direct correlation with market prices in general in Dubai. The prices actually stay buoyant and they go up. Okay, coming back to if you were investing, and if you put a question, I'll take a break and I'll answer the question. Coming back to if you're investing in your 50s, look, one of the things that you're going to be looking at is to have extreme stability in the assets that you're deploying your money in, okay? How do I measure stability in Dubai? how would you do that, right? I would say, look, we look at good locations, so there's liquidity, easy liquidity. I look at nothing super fancy, like, if I've got an apartment with a great swimming pool in every single apartment, this isn't for you if you're 50 years old, in my personal humble opinion. I would look for great locations, great developers who've got great credibility behind them. Don't get fooled by trying to invest in an off-plan project where the developer is new but the price is great. They say marry rich and soon you'll find the real price. I say buy cheap and soon you'll find out the real price of what you're buying, right? So because not only do you need stability, but come on, if you're going to be investing, you want to get some returns and you want to have capital appreciation coming in. What are the returns we're talking about in Dubai? Generally speaking, between 5 to 7% net rental income into your pocket is the norm. And this isn't surprising. It's not difficult and it's tax free, okay? But if you're gonna end up getting 3%, 2%, I think you're selling yourself a little bit short, and I don't think you should be doing that, right? Similarly, appreciation. Look, generally speaking, oil prices are going up, cement prices are going up. There's general inflation. Prices are going to be going up. Okay, Rami, I'm going to answer your question as well. Just give me 1 second. So there will be general capital appreciation, but you don't want to just wait for capital appreciation that's linked to general inflation around the world. You want to be able to buy a value or undervalued property where, let's just consider value, okay? Because you're over 50, so we're not going to take a lot of risk going into an undervalued place. But you want to be able to buy so that you can then have decent capital appreciation built into the property every 2-3 years. Rami Biaini, let us know about investment in resale properties in Dubai real estate. Look, also good. Hey, what he means by resale properties in Dubai, you might be, as a viewer, thinking, well, isn't every property something that's sold and resold? So in Dubai, we've got two distinct categories, or three distinct categories. Let's talk about two. One is off-plan primary market, where we have developers such as the big boys like Emaar, Dubai Holdings, under which comes Miras, Dubai Properties, the Demax, the Ellingtons, the Shobas, and so on and so forth. They sell primary stock, which means you can buy direct from the developer. Okay, we call it off-plan or under construction. Most of this has 3, 5, 4, 2 years payment plans. Okay, resale properties are where here's a developer, somebody already bought that property from them, and is now reselling that apartment or villa or townhouse or what have you. Okay, now when this person is reselling that property, it can be under two conditions. One is maybe the property is now complete, so it's a ready property now that's being resold, or maybe it's still under construction. As long as this seller can meet some conditions by the original developer, he can still resell the property to a third party. Okay, the question was, let us know about investment in resale properties in Dubai real estate. It's a good place to invest in. There's nothing wrong with it. You can actually pick up good deals, but I will always go back to saying, is it good, not good? How do you manage it? It all depends on your personal situation. For some people, they've got the cash all out ready to be paid onto a ready property, because when the property is ready, you're going to have to, generally speaking, pay all cash, or not cash as in cash, but you're going to have to pay all the amount on the property that you're buying. Whereas when you're buying off plan, you can take time to pay for it, right? The other is, there's a lot of other reasons and a lot of other points that you would need to consider, such as a resale property. If it's old, are you going to have to spend on it? There's a little bit of extra fees, because when you buy an off-plan property, the developer pays the agency fee. There's no NOC fees. There's no trustee. There's a couple of fees that you can actually save money on when you're buying from the developer. But again, it's not about should I buy from the developer or should I buy from the resale market. And it's not about, hey, I can save more money here, I can't save more money here. No, it's not about that. It's first and foremost planning, having a strategy before you go into the market, and then making sure that that strategy serves you. I always tell people, you, the buyer, are the number one priority. Right after you comes me. Okay, I come right second. So your property purchase should be the best property purchase you're buying. Okay, it should make sense for you. That's it. primary, off-plan, resale, all of that needs to fit in that criteria, okay? Rami, I hope I was able to answer your question, okay? Okay, I've got another question. So that was if you were 50 years old. Let's talk about if you're 20, you're in your 20s or 30s, right? Let's describe your profile. Same things apply again. You've got to do a strategy consultation, do a planning session, and then we would look at your profile, right? How old are you? Thank you, Rami. You're welcome. I appreciate the question. Right? Because you're young in your 20s and 30s, I'm not saying you've got FU money and you should just be spending it wherever and investing it wherever, but you're young. So in my opinion, the plan I would make would be a little bit more aggressive for you if you are ready for that, right? So you would appreciate it, Rami. Thanks very much. So for instance, let's target 10 to 15% return, right? So let's go for a little bit of a high reward on properties, but let's go a little bit of a high risk as well. It's okay because risk, I'm not going to expose you to risk that's going to make you lose money, but informed decisions, calculated risks will get you higher rewards because you flip 2, 3, 4, 5 of these properties, and you know it's much better for you in terms of growing your property portfolio. Now, one of the main important things is you gotta buy low. How do you buy low, right? First of all, don't buy luxury, okay? If you're in your 20s and 30s and you're looking to flip, avoid luxury because luxury properties have smaller pool of buyers. Therefore, your resale market doesn't give you the same benefit. The returns aren't the best in that term. Now, it's okay if you're thinking of building a luxury portfolio, that's fine. But then again, we would do a lot of work to make sure the luxury properties you're buying are still attached and provide the value that you can derive from it in terms of income and capital appreciation, okay? Secondly, how do you buy low? Identify developers that are struggling but aren't dead and have a decent track record of actually delivering. You get in there, identify, and then negotiate hard, okay? Like for instance, there's one developer that's just going into a new area of Dubai, but they've delivered 2 buildings. And from what my team has told me, okay, so Sohail Saban, how does the Dubai market about the ups and downs? Okay, let me just come to your question, Sohail. So identify developers' needs. Like, just want to finish this point. What my team has told me, the 2 buildings they've already delivered are super good in terms of quality, and the developer owners are super honest. Like, they're trying to make an honest living in Dubai, which is great, right? A lot of the developers here are honest people, right? They're not coming here to loot people. They're not coming here to give empty promises. I'm not saying that there aren't those kind of developers here. I'm saying that a lot of them are honest, right? But honesty, when you say it, is one thing. But when you deliver with your actions, which means good quality, and you deliver to the project, boom, now you know this developer is on the rise. Now you know that this developer, the third project is going to be even better, but you also know that this developer has not yet priced in their brand name. Somebody says, you know, they don't have their brand name, they don't have that brand recognition. Their salespeople still have to work hard to make the sale. They haven't got that pull in the market where they're launching a project and guess what? 7 days later it's sold. There was one developer, it was called Oxford, in JVC. I think they delivered fourth building now, okay? Now the name is well known. Everybody knows they deliver good projects. Guess what happened on their 4th project? They're sold out after 15, 20 days. And they don't need you, so they don't need to work with you. Do you understand? So if you're a young buyer, you need to go into a developer earlier stage and know that the developer that's just, it's kind of like buying a football player, right? Or in the India Premier League. Is it Premium League or Premier League?
IPL?
Yeah.
Indian
buying
Premier
a player who you know he's going to shine.
Indian Premium League, yeah.
Premium League or Premier League?
Indian Premium League.
You don't
Indian
know.
Premium League.
कैसे खेलेगा तू उनके लिए? तुझे हायर करने से पहले वो तुझसे पूछेंगे. Do you know what IPL stands for?
Indian Premium League.
Premier League. Indian Premier League. There's the property residencies. So, you know, you got to attack that developer who's just coming up. Well, don't take it seriously. Don't go and attack them, but you got to play a game, right? You got to have an expert advisor, me or somebody from my team, in there, pitching your pitch, try to get you a good discount, and then you've acquired stock at a lower than market price. That's when you'll have that opportunity to flip. Last but not the least, befriend agents and take care of agents. You got to make sure that agents make money on your deals. Otherwise, we're not giving you any deals. Okay? If I've got a great deal, 100,000 less than market price, and you want to tell me like, oh, okay, well, can I not pay you commission? I'm like, no, I don't want to work with you. I've got 5 other people who I can give that deal to. I've got 10 other people who are cash ready and cash rich to work with me super fast, right?
Yeah, we should tell them how we avoid that conflict of interest as well.
Yeah, because we put the seller's interest right above.
Yeah.
If I'm selling a deal, my seller's interest is right above, okay? That's a good question. Again, let me explain something to you. If you'll give me a better deal where my seller will win and my interest is right here, I'm okay with that. Okay? If I'm representing you as a buyer, your interest is right here and mine is right here, okay? I'd love to create a win-win for everybody, but if you're the buyer and I'm working with you, you're here, I'm right here, and then comes the seller. Okay, sorry, I'm not going to be able to create a win-win for everybody, equal opportunity. It doesn't happen, right? Sometimes it does, because we could all say we all won because the deal's done, right? But from a seller perspective or a buyer perspective, whichever side I'm representing, I'm going to make sure that they win first. Then me, then obviously the counterparties as well, right? And that doesn't mean I'm going to be unfair or defraud anybody or cheat with anybody, right? Everybody has to be fair and square in the game. How does the Dubai market deal with ups and downs? Look, Dubai market, just like every other market, there's always ups and downs. It's normal, it's natural. Face it, live up to it, embrace it. The point that investors need to understand is there's always opportunities in up and down markets. Yes or no? It doesn't matter. Market's going up, market's coming down. There's always opportunity. What about Bitcoin now? Should you buy it? Should you not buy it? I'm not saying, I don't know. Right? I personally think that there is something called blockchain technology that makes a lot of sense. The app which talks and does currency only on blockchain technology, Bitcoin is kind of like the most recognized around the world. Price is down. A lot of people who've lost money want to buy. A lot of people who lost money are kaput. They don't want to buy. So there's always opportunities, and it depends on what angle and how you're understanding the opportunities. Okay, so Hale, thank you very much for saying, yeah, I guess you agree with that. Ali Siddiqui, does the property residence visa of 3 years allow you to work or do business in Dubai? No, from what I know of, okay? So just to let you know, when you work with us, we work with residence visas, investor visas, experts who are signed up as partner companies with us who actually do all the process for you. The general information that I've had for the last 5-10 years is when you have an investor visa linked to your property that allows you to live here risk-free, rent-free, income tax-free, and all of that. You've got all the rights to be in Dubai. You don't have the rights to take up employment. That's what the case and that's what the rule and the law has been. Have they changed that recently? I would have to check for you, okay? Why? Because now they allow employees who are actually working in one company to go and work with other companies as well part-time. I'm not sure. We can double check that, okay? All right, good. Coming back to this, one last point that I want to make, and then maybe we can end this here. One thing I want to say to you guys is when you're 20s and 30s, you're looking for value assets in the value-driven areas, but staying away from garbage, but you're looking to buy undervalued, okay? This is the trick, guys. Like, for instance, there is a project in downtown. Hit me up, my team can actually guide you. This project at the moment is undervalued. You've got to understand the nuances of a certain project, understand where they're selling at, understand what the risks are, because there's no risk-free investments, there's always risks. Understand where the risks are and then get in. And if it's undervalued right now, not only do you have that gap before it reaches value status where everybody else figures it out, then you've got the further gap of getting that capital appreciation in. So somebody talked about this, right? Why is real estate's returns 4, 5, 6, 7, 8%, generally speaking? But a business, if you do business, the return can be 30, 40%, because it's the amount of money you're putting in, the amount of people who have access to the same deal. right? How many people can buy real estate today? Everybody.
Yeah.
So, what's so special when you're buying it? That's why you've got to get into the better deals. How do you get access to the better deals?
Also, the
Work with an
capital
expert.
appreciation is completely different.
Huh?
The capital appreciation, like the money you're putting in, you're getting it anyway. This is the top on the 7-8%. You're getting extra.
Yeah. Well, not hold on. Not just the capital appreciation is different, but capital preservation is almost confirmed.
Yeah.
You gotta invest in a really like stupid place, like I don't know, Alaska, Antarctica. You buy a hut over there, and maybe you lose money. You bought it for $50,000. Nobody wants to buy it from you. Fine, sorry, made a mistake. But almost anywhere else in any major city around the world, if you buy a property, what's going to happen is you're going to most likely be able to resell it.
Yeah.
You're most likely going to be able to rent it out. So where's the risk here? Come on, man. It's a no-brainer. Who cares about the buy market going up and down? Really, really. So Hale, what happens if the developer does not deliver the property on time? This used to happen. This used to happen back in the day. Check out my videos on escrow accounts and escrow compliance. Okay. Now, when you buy a property from a developer, you should be making sure that they are escrow compliant. You should be buying the property and putting that money into the escrow account. The developer cannot do anything else with that money except build the property.
Yeah.
They can't buy a Lamborghini. They can't buy another plot of land to start another project. They can't buy expensive gifts for themselves or a yacht or a plane. They can't do anything with that money except build it, which means what? All throughout for any project that's been launched from 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, all developers have delivered. Nobody ran away from the market. Even in the pandemic, nobody ran away.
Yeah.
Not a single developer ran away.
None. No project got cancelled.
No project got cancelled. No project got cancelled. My personal information. Okay.
Yeah, capital appreciation happens.
Scooby, hey all, can you get a 10-year golden residence visa? So Hale, just to finish that thing, invest with the right developer. Use an expert to guide you. Right? Don't invest in bad developers. Does the capital appreciation happen? Yes. With the right opportunity, the right property, the right place, the right location, you'll get capital appreciation. Look, you'll get generic capital appreciation because inflation is causing everything to go up, okay? But you're not looking to do that. When you invest properly in a good asset, in a good location, with good quality, with a good developer, guided by an expert advisor, you will get more than just basic capital appreciation where everybody's getting appreciation. You'll get more than that. The Scooby 789, hey all, can you get a 10-year visa, golden residence visa for off-plan? I'm being given conflicting. Yes, it's in the works, it's in the pipeline. From what I understood, actually, can we send Sybil to the land department window? And I want him to ask specifically this question. So I'm going to get my team to actually go, and you will hear it from the horse's mouth. Okay, from the last what I heard, the Dubai government has changed the rules. Yes, post October 3rd, you could, if you have a property, even if it's off plan, get that residence visa. However, they've not started opening that window. Like they've not started doing that. But this news is 3 weeks ago, so I could be wrong. Don't quote me. We'll get you updated, and we'll make a video on this. Yeah. Thank you so much. You're welcome. If you pay MR installment by card on their app, does the money go into the escrow account? It's a good question. I think not in general, but then they will move, like Imar themselves would move that money to the escrow account for that project. Okay, so Imar would do that. The top tier developers, they're pretty good, solid. I have personally, I personally dealt with them for my own properties. They always try to help you out. The Scooby789, love your channel. I will be in contact. Okay, yeah, there's a WhatsApp number. Get in touch with us. There is a way you can work with me or my expert team. Working with me directly, it is a paid service, which is great because it tells me you're serious about somebody who's an expert looking to help you, and it also tells me that you're looking to work with me. So, love kind of goes both ways. So I'd love for you to actually come in contact and we can actually work together. All right, guys, look. That's it for now. We'll do more of these things. there's really valid live questions that I can answer. Sometimes we'll miss out on the videos, and we'll do more of these. Okay, guys, see you later. Thanks very much for the questions to everybody. I appreciate it all. Townhouse or apartment, which would be the best investment? So Hale, that's a good question. It depends. Do get into a strategy session with us, and I'll actually be able to give you more guidance because it depends. I personally check out some of my videos on recent townhouses. I personally think that townhouses are going to perform amazingly for the next 3 to 5 years, but then we're coming into a slight oversupply of townhouses for 2 3 years. But then Dubai in general as a population is growing, so then they'll get absorbed as well. Now, is it good for you or not good for you? We got to discuss what's the best investment for you, okay? All right, so I'll talk to you soon. Take care. All right, bye. See you later, guys. Bye.